Greetings. You know, why do software companies and other companies make stuff so hard sometimes? Microsoft, some of you know that last year Windows 10 did an update that totally wiped out my hard drive. And some folks said, well, it's your fault because you did something early, but no, it wasn't my fault. It was a known problem. It happened to a whole lot of people. It wasn't just me. And so they wiped it out. I waited a couple of weeks trying to get my hard drive back and decided, you know what, forget all that mess. And I loaded Windows 7 and I went on with life. And then they decided that they were not going to support Windows 7 after a certain period of time. There were not going to be any more updates. There were not going to be any more updates for security and this and that. And I said, you know what, I don't even want to go there. So I decided to go ahead and buy Windows 10 Professional and move on that way. So I bought Windows 10 Professional, loaded it onto my computer. Everything looked good. Because of iDrive, which I've talked about in a previous video, and I actually wrote a blog post about it, I was able to get everything back onto my computer. So I lost none of my user files. I lost none of my other stuff because, it erased things. However, it didn't go smoothly. Why didn't it go smoothly? Because Microsoft thinks that most people are idiots. And so what they did is they locked down my C drive. They totally locked it out. I couldn't move anything to the C drive. So when iDrive was initially moving things, I was wondering, wait, how come I'm not seeing it where I expected to see it? It moved everything to my D drive, which actually used to be my C drive. That's even a funnier story, but we're not going to go there. Anyway, it moved it to a totally different drive because they had frozen out my C drive. So I couldn't move anything there. I'm thinking, what kind of idiocy is that? I mean, they already set it up so that no one can see extensions. They said they were doing that for security, but that's the stupidest thing in the world because most people will go to a folder to open something up and not know which file to click on. If you don't see that .exe, you don't know what you're clicking on. So what kind of idiocy is that? But they do things like this. And it took me hours. Almost a full day before I found a solution that no one else had been talking about. And I found a solution and I got it working and I did what I wanted to do. And then I started downloading the iDrive thing again. And you know what? It got to within 90%. And then Windows downloaded an update and rebooted the computer and shut everything down. And I didn't know that because I'd gone away for a while and I came back. I was like, you weasels. So I bought Windows 10 Professional for a reason. I went in and I shut off automatic updates. It is never happening to me again. I will decide when I want to update something, when I want to download something to update something. It'll all be on me. And I know they do that because a lot of people won't go and check to see if they have updates or whatever. But you know what? It should not be your responsibility to download something and reboot my computer. You don't know what I'm doing. Yes, if I was sitting there at the computer, I would have seen a notice, but I didn't. And I had something running. I made an assumption that I was all good. But that's the reason you buy Windows 10 Professional, because you can pause automatic updates. And by the way, for those of you who think you have to spend that $199, you don't. Go on eBay and buy a brand new licensed copy of Windows 10 Professional for around $30. That's all I'm saying. Go look it up. You'll see. That's how I did it. So that's good. Anyway, so you have that. Now, right now, I'm going through a thing where I'm doing a lot of searching because for whatever reason, it is not attaching the icons to programs it should be attaching them to. I've got a photo editor program, and it should have an icon showing up on my JPG files or GIF files. Nothing is showing up except this blanket thing that looks like a piece of white paper. That's what it looks like. But that's not how it's supposed to work. So I'm trying to research this one. And this one has taken me 3 or 4 days, and I haven't found an answer yet. My friend Kelvin might have found an answer. I'm going to be trying that later on. So then we have that, and I have WordPress. WordPress does a little update. They do that all the time. But for the first time when did I start blogging? 2005. For the first time in 14 years, they decided to move the reply button from the right side to the left side. So after 14 years of like hitting reply on the right, I go to hit reply and it ain't there anymore. It's on the left side. Do they have a real reason to do this, or is the person who's now in charge of that left-handed and decide they were going to move it to the other side? Why do these companies keep changing things like that? Why do they make them so difficult? You know, I mean, at least the thing with WordPress is we're using it for free, so that's not necessarily anything we can do about it. But I paid for Microsoft. I mean, I actually have paid for it. Yes, a lot of people updated it for free, but I paid for it. I should be able to run things how I want to do it. It's the same thing with Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel. They change all these things, even though the bulk of it stays the same. So it's like, yeah, it's easy to do certain things, but then other things, they move them around, they change it, or they totally eliminate it. Why do things make, why do companies and whatever make things so difficult? And I'm saying that because I think that there are those of us who are self-employed or we're trying to make money a different way. And one of the things we need to remember is that we can't make things difficult for other people. The idea is to make things simple or to make them, look appealing or solve a problem that they have that isn't going to take you a whole lot of work to fix. And it's just another way of looking at things. When I went to this seminar a few years ago, one of the things they said is you don't always have to reinvent the wheel. You just need to find a way so that maybe it self-heals itself if it's got a puncture or, whatever. You just find something that maybe you don't like about something, find an easy fix for it, then market that. Something to think about. Simplicity can be a great thing. Continuity can be a great thing as well. But that's what I got today. Let me know your thoughts on this. My name is Mitch Mitchell. I hope you all have a wonderful day.